Hi, I'm Rajiv, and I like to make a lot of things at home. When I make something like this soap here, it's really special to me. I use this myself. It's my favorite soap. And when I'm giving this away to somebody, I want to wrap it up in a way that reflects the care that I put into actually making it. So wrapping up presents to me is something that I really enjoy doing and really enjoy taking time and care to do it properly and beautifully. So today I'm going to show you 3 versions of how I wrap up presents. I really hate that Christmas wrapping paper that comes out at this time of year. Those tall rolls that you can buy for $2.99. It's such garbage. And I despise it. So if I had to, I know the argument might be, well, what if I have to wrap something really big and it costs a lot of money to buy fancy paper to wrap something really big and that stuff is cheap. You know what I would do? I would wrap something big in brown paper. Brown paper packages tied up with string. You can't go wrong with that. If you do it well, it's beautiful and it's classic. All over Europe, when you buy things in shops, the way they pack it up for you is with some brown paper. And that is what I would love all of you out there that are wrapping up gifts on a budget to try. Because once you do it, you'll see how wonderful it is and how simple it is and how inexpensive it is. You can get rolls of brown paper like this for not very much money and it lasts quite a long time. So I have this lovely paper roll cutter thingamadoodle. And when I need a piece of brown paper for wrapping something up, just do that. So I'm going to trim this a little bit. Now I have a piece of paper that is big enough to overlap and big enough to go up the sides, but not much higher than the height of the bar of soap. And take your time to cut the piece of paper to fit whatever it is you're wrapping. It just helps you to make the corners nice and crisp. I try to envision what's going to happen when I give this to someone and they open it up in front of me. If this is wrapped up with tape, they're awkwardly ripping open parts of tape. The whole thing just becomes a kind of mess, and then the paper ends up in a crumpled pile next to the gift. Whereas if you don't use tape, there is a way of opening this up that is so seamless and so elegant and very old world. It's of an era before tape existed, and you can do it. It just takes a little bit of effort and a little bit of patience. So the way you wrap something up without tape is you crease the paper and it will sort of stay there for a little while. You crease all the edges, and before it starts to open up, you tie it up with string, okay? So that's what we're gonna do. We're going to pull this taut. I'm gonna crease this edge, and look, when you really press it along the edge, it might open up, but it comes right back to where you creased it. I'm gonna do the same on this side, and I'm holding it in place, and while I'm holding this, I'm going to do the sides. And if you really want to get in there, you could use your bone folder that you bought for bookbinding. Pull this down, give it a good crease. Look at this. I just tilt it up on its side, and now I have access to this top without having to worry about holding the other side in place. So I'm going to do the same on the top. Just like that. And look at that. This package is wrapped and folded and there's no tape, okay? So now I'm just gonna put this down here. Everything is creased, don't worry. And I'm gonna get some string and I'm going to cut a length of string that is long enough to go around all the sides, and then a little bit more for a bow. I have a string fetish. when I'm in a hardware store in New York, when I'm in a hardware store in Munich, I go to the section where they have string and I look at everything that they have, because they have different kinds of string in different parts of the world. And I love string. So this is from Munich. I think this is from, well, this is from here. Somewhere there's a roll of string from Sri Lanka, something made out of hemp. Some people like to buy souvenirs like magnets to put on their fridge. I like to buy spools of string to remember Munich. Find the center of the string by holding both ends in one hand and finding the center this way. Place the center on the table, put the package on top of it. You want the middle of the string to be on the good side of the package. And we're going to make our first knot on the back, like that. Flip this over, tie this like this, and just make a simple bow. And look at that. There's no need for garbage Christmas wrapping paper. So the last thing I would do to this is I would add just a bit of sealing wax to this. It just adds a pop of color, a pop of beautiful color. There is real sealing wax, which is this stuff, and there is fake sealing wax, which is this stuff. Sealing wax was meant to be delicate and fragile. In the 15th century, when letters were closed, they were sealed with wax, and every person that was sealing something would have their own seal engraved with a specific custom-made insignia. That, pressed into the wax, was the insurance that the letter was closed by the person that wrote it. When something was sealed and sent off, if that seal broke, it was an indication that it was tampered with. So it was meant to be delicate. For people today that want to put sealing wax on letters and put that piece of mail into the mail system, they've developed this stuff, which is kind of waxy and gummy and flexible, and it just ensures that the seal is not going to break off and crack in the mail. So this is great if you want to put it on a letter and put it through the post. I don't like doing that. But this stuff, this is made today as it was made 400 years ago. And it has a smell to it. It's a natural resin. And this is another one of my fetishes. Just look at this box that it comes in. From France, boîte de 10 béton cire banque rouge. Candle. Matches. Fire. You want to light the candle with the fire. Look at the seal to make sure that it's right side up, because we're gonna do this very quickly, and sometimes I've sealed it upside down. And then heating up the wax in the flame. And you wanna rotate it around because it'll start to drip once it gets really hot. So I like doing that. I like to put a few little drops onto the package, and then look at this. You just press this down. It's so satisfying. Nice healthy glob of sealing wax, and while it's still hot, breathe on this to put moisture on it and press it firmly into the wax. It's great. Now I want to show you something. I just want to show you what it would look like to open this up. So you give this to a person. Happy birthday. I made this for you. And look, pull the string. Oh, it's so nice. Oh my gosh, what is it? What could it be? Wow, soap. But look at this. Look at how nice that was. Look at how seamless it was to just open up the present. No ripping tape, no like awkwardness or hideous sounds of plastic crunching. There you have it. Really, really simple wrapping with just paper, string, and a bit of sealing wax. Gift wrapping version 2. In this box is a nice little vase that I made at Guy Wolf's place. This is very special because it survived a disastrous firing where most of the pieces exploded or had things fall on them and were garbage. My friend Caroline saw it and she loved it, and I'm going to gift this to her. So, very sentimental piece that I'm giving away, and the wrapping, the box, I want it to really reflect how special the contents are. So again, I want to think about how this is going to be opened. And yes, I could tape the top shut, but then that means that she's going to be trying to rip it open, or we're going to need a knife to cut it open, and I don't want that. I want the reveal to be smooth and seamless. So I'm just going to fold it shut like this, and I'm going to put it upside down for now. Put it off to the side. Now, for this package, I'm going to use one of my special papers. When I see printed papers that just stand out, I collect them and bring them home for this purpose, for wrapping up gifts. So here's a nice celestial map, and ooh, I think I'm going to use something like this. I just love these. These are reprints of old posters and advertisements and charts. So this is a color chart. Oh, there's a nice map of New York City. Oh, it's a map of Brooklyn, right. And like that on a gift is just stunning. And it's a quality paper. It has substance to it. It's thicker. So that comes into play with this process. If you use a really thin, flimsy paper, it doesn't hold its structure as well when you're forming those corners and you want them to stay in place until you tie them. Using something stiff like this really helps this process of wrapping something up without tape. Let's see, what else we have? It's like shopping. You know, but oh, I like this one. So, to do this, because this piece of paper is it big enough? Yeah. Because this piece of paper is almost just the perfect size for wrapping up this gift, I'm not even gonna attempt to cut it. So, put the paper down on the table, good side down. I take my gift, the opening is placed down onto the paper. I try to find the middle. And now I'm just going to lift up one side, and then this is a very important part of this process. Press down on the box because it hasn't been taped shut. You want to kind of close it by applying pressure, and while you're doing that, pull on the paper. This is kind of like sculpture. If you approach it as you're making a shape out of this paper and you want to make a nice clean box out of this paper, so I'm using my arms sometimes to hold down the box while I pull the paper taut. And then when the paper is as far as it'll go and it's in the right place, crease it. This creasing is so important. Now, while this is like this, bring this side up and really pull it taut. I've done this before. I've pulled too hard and I've ripped the paper. But this is very nice, strong paper with a bit of cotton in it. So it'll really hold up to being pulled. So I'm looking at this now and I'm realizing I want this part to be on top. So I'm just gonna switch this because I like this, that it says tableau de couleur. And at this point, if you feel like you need just a little more security, you can use a little bit of double-sided tape, just a couple tiny pieces to help secure it while you're wrapping it. And then I take it off at the end, just to hold this one seam down. And then, I'm gonna do the sides. And it's stiff paper, so it does need some coaxing sometimes, especially to make these corners. But take your time. Take your time and do it right. And have fun. Because it's fun. There. Okay. Now, I'm gonna flip this over like this, just like I did when I did my little soap. And I wanna look at the direction of the flaps so that this side is the same. Now, look at how nice that looks. Isn't that great? I'm gonna crease these edges here like this. And now I can just sort of set this aside while I pick my ribbon. I don't have as much a fetish about ribbon that I do about string, but I love ribbon, and I love finding vintage ribbon. Ribbon that is made today, that is made for mass consumption, is not made with the same care and quality as ribbon made 50, 100 years ago. Ribbon, even in the 19th century, was something that people spent a lot of money on, like to tie up their hair or on the trim of hats. And I love using vintage ribbon on presents. And I try to find something that just makes the package sing, that just makes it pop. Oh, I kind of really like this. Again, shopping at home, shopping for the perfect ribbon. Oh, yes. What do we think? Pink, blue, or polka dots? Pink. So again, I'm just roughly measuring out how much I need to go around the whole package, and then a little more for a bow. Here's a little trick about how to cut the ends. You fold the ribbon together, and starting on the outside, you cut upward towards the middle. Find the center, place it on the center, flip this over, tie it up, and really pull this, because this ribbon is now what's holding this all together. So give it a good pull, and look at that. It has pulled that box, which has no tape on it, the ribbon has pulled it closed. Do this, stick this under here, like that, and then I'm gonna tie another little knot, and a nice pink bow. Isn't that just so pretty? No tape. Wait, hold on, there is some tape. You can take it off, like do this. Now that it's together, there. And when she opens this up, the paper will just open up. Do we want to put a little tag on this? Yeah, tags. That's right, Caroline's name on here. I think this looks like something that would be in a magazine, if I do say so myself. This wrapping, it just mirrors the care that went into the contents of the package. The third version of gift wrapping that I would like to show you is the pinnacle, to me, of wrapping up a present. So I have this lovely present in a nice sturdy box, and it's just so solid that I wouldn't want to throw this box away. So this is the kind of box that I would wrap as 2 pieces so that the person who gets it can keep this. Top of the box, the present, the card, put this aside. Bottom of the box. Now, to wrap this gift, I am using some very sentimental paper to me. This is marbled paper that I made myself. And you can check out the video that we did on paper marbling in a link below. Is it going to be in a link below?
Yeah, it's going to be in a link below.
Okay, it's in a link below. Liz says it's in a link below. Now, I'm going to pick 2 pieces of paper because I need a piece for the top and a piece for the bottom. I'm going to pick 2 pieces that kind of look like they go together. Let's shop. Let's shop through our marbled paper and find 2 pieces we like. Ooh, yeah. You can't use that. I know, I'm being bad, sorry. Too many choices. Too many delicious choices. I'm gonna use these two pieces of paper. I wanna use the more stunning paper on the top of the box. So I think I'm gonna use this paper on the top and this paper on the bottom. And let's start with the bottom. Wrapping a two-piece box. It is kind of akin to origami. You want clean folds, you want to pay very specific attention to the corners, and you want the edges to be as straight as possible when you're making folds. So I'm going to lay this box on this piece of paper and visually center it. The very first thing I'm going to do is just anchor down one edge. Make a cut that goes from the edge of the paper almost to the edge of the box, but not quite. Double-sided tape. Fold this in like this. And now we have one side that is firmly in place. And you can take the opposite side and really pull, really taut. And right where those corners are, I'm gonna make a little snip so that the edges, corners will fold over. Now that I have a crease, I know where I can put my double-sided tape. Look, tight like a drum. And now we're gonna do the opposite sides. So the first thing I do is fold this like this, get that bone folder, and really make this crease sharp. Nice and neat and sharp. And then see this little flap here? I'm going to fold this over. Do the same on this side, fold this in, lift this up, and fold this over. Now, while all these things are creased, get your double-sided tape. There. You could tape this whole thing, but I like to use as little tape as possible. So that's good enough. And we're gonna do the same on this side. The bottom of the box is done. Doesn't that look great? And now I am gonna do the exact same thing to the top of the box. Isn't that cool? Two-piece box. So, this box requires some very special ribbon, I think. Let's take it up a notch. Let's take it up a notch. Let me show you. Let's put this towel down first. I have something from the 1800s, a fluting iron that I have heated up on this hot plate. This thing is so much fun to use. It's hot, so be very careful. All of you that are gonna go out there and find a fluting iron. You need ribbon that has natural fiber in it. So this is old vintage ribbon from Handmade, one of my favorite places in New York. So the ribbon needs just a little bit of moisture. Just get it a little damp. And then it goes on here. And we pick this up very carefully and we flute it. Look at that. This is thrilling to me. So I'm just gonna flute the whole piece of ribbon. It's really hot. It's been sitting on the hot plate warming up for about half an hour. I love these old things. They were so beautifully made. No horrible sound of a motor. Ooh, ooh. Get it even more crimpy. Having too much fun with this. There, look at this. Look at this! Revived this old beautiful thing from 100 years ago that has been sitting around and probably not used in at least 50 or 60 maybe. Put it aside. So, we have our crimped ribbon. I told you that this version was all the bells and whistles. That's what we got. I don't want to pull it too tight because I want my crimping to show. Tags, the third fetish of the day. Tag fetish. I love tags. Just a shipping label like this can be so nice on a gift like that. Like, that would look great on here. Look at these. You put someone's name in tiny lettering on there. That would look nice on here. I love tags, but I also sometimes like to make my own. For this package, I'm gonna do something a little above and beyond the normal tags. I found these Glassine envelopes somewhere years ago. They're transparent and they're just so aesthetically pleasing. They're thin and they're delicate and they're unusual. So I'm gonna use this and I'm gonna cut a piece of nice cardstock that's gonna fit into here. Because the envelope is transparent, you're gonna be able to see this card through the envelope. George. Card goes into the Glassine envelope. Close this up. We see George's name through the envelope. Get the hole punch. Punch a hole through both. Get a piece of string. I want to use this finer string. Watch this, because this is very useful. How to thread the string through these tags. And I picked this up from observing how tags are tied at stores. You take your string, you double it over, and then the looped end, see this looped end? You thread that through the hole, and you want it to come out the right side, right? Like this. And then you take these two ends, and you put them through the loop. I think this is really beautiful. It's just grand. It's grand. It's the only way to describe it. Present 3, present 2, and present 1. Gift wrapping. Take your time, have fun with it. You can make your presents look really, really beautiful. This is for you.
Thank you. It's very well wrapped.
Well, everybody knows how to wrap a gift like this now, and open it up.
Do I have to rip it?
No, there's no ripping. Just
Okay.
pull it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, Rajiv. Oh my gosh. I've still been thinking about this.
Well, it's yours. Guy said you should have it.
Oh my
So.
gosh.
Cheers. White copper kettles and warm woolen mittens, brown paper packages tied up with strings. These really are a few of my favorite things. Easy, moderate, difficult. Which of these do you think you'll try at home? Let me know in the comments below. I do read them.